The Seven Deadly Sins capital murder trial is now in its second week. Frederick Rogers is charged with killing 7 people in Valamoso Springs in June of 2020. Prosecutors are seeking the death penalty. News 19 investigative reporter Dallas Parker has been in court all day, and she joins us live with the latest. Dallas?
That's right, Lauren. Another day of dramatic evidence here in Morgan County in the state's case against Frederick Rogers. Today, the jury was shown a second interrogation interview. Now, this one took place in Morgan County. If you recall, last week, we saw the first interrogation interview that happened shortly after his arrest in Oregon. Now, in this video, Rogers tells FBI agents that he and John Legg planned the killings. He says they were invited to dinner at the house on Toluca Road in Valamoso Springs, but they went to the house, killed everyone, set the house on fire, and then left. One of the first things Rogers says in this video after firing up a cigarette in the interrogation room is that "you already caught me. I'm going to do the right thing." Rogers tells the agents that he and John Legg started a motorcycle club because they watched a popular television show called Sons of Anarchy. He claims it was supposed to be a legitimate bike club, but things went bad when one of the members got tied into a beef with members of the Aryan Brotherhood. Now, in this video today, Rogers was almost casual in describing the killings. In the original video we saw last week, he cried when he realized that he could go to prison for the rest of his life. Now, Rogers tells law enforcement in that video today that he and Legg had to handle things at the house because there were threats on their lives caused by one of the victims' actions. He tells authorities they did this because they thought they would end up dead or in jail because of problems they did not start. Now, regarding the victims, Rogers told investigators he shot and killed 3 men in the garage and 1 person inside the house. He claimed his co-defendant John Legg killed 3 others inside of the house. Now, 2 of the victims, one of which was a 17-year-old girl, Rogers explicitly tells investigators in that video they were only killed because they could not leave any witnesses. FBI agents asked Rogers what his plan was after fleeing the state. In the video, he told them that he was planning to stay in Oregon to start over. Rogers and Legg were apprehended after FBI agents set up surveillance near Rogers' grandmother's house in Oregon. Now, toward the end of the interrogation video, Rogers tells agents he's made peace with all of his reality and he's okay with being sentenced to death. Again, the state rested its case after, presenting its case over the last week or so, and the jury was told to return tomorrow at 9 o'clock. The defense is not expected to call any witnesses in its case in this portion of the trial. But if you want to find a full recap of what we covered in court today, you can visit our website, WHNT.com. But for now, live in Morgan County, I'm Dallas Parker, News 19.